Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. So we've got a new property up by the Navajo Marina. This is one we had actually entered escrow on back in January. The seller had to petition a probate court in Texas to get some obscure document before our title company would sign off on it. Thankfully, after about 6 months, he did, and they did, and here we are today with the property listed on our website for you to purchase. Title free and clear. So let's get to it. This is reference number SJNM 3341. As noted, it's located up in San Juan County by the Navajo Marina. This is 2.4 acres, and it is priced at $9,000. Anybody who's a regular visitor to this channel knows I like to buy properties close to bodies of water. The Navajo Marina is a particularly popular spot because there are no planning and zoning laws out there. So our buyers tend to like these. They tend to sell pretty quickly. Click on the GPS coordinates here, as with any of our listing pages, and it'll bring the property up on the Google Maps. So first off, let's just show you on map view what the lot is. The lot is this square right here. It is these 2.4 acres. This 2.4 acres. Roughly about 85% of the property sits to the southeast of this road that comes through here. The other roughly 15% sits to the northwest. So you've got property on both sides of this road. Now, let's just show you how close this is to the marina itself, and let's talk about where this is in the grand scheme of things. So the marina sits right down here. The property is, let's measure distance, roughly about 4 miles to the marina. This is a pretty easy 4 miles, right up and down the 511. 511, of course, is a major roadway that runs through here. For those who aren't familiar with the Navajo Marina, there's a lot of great activities out here: fishing, boating, jet skiing, so on and so forth. Here on our listing page, we actually have linked their website. Click on this. It's going to bring up this page right here, where you're going to be able to learn more about all of the assorted amenities that are out here and everything that's offered as far as rentals, boat rentals, kayaks, paddleboards, bring your own boat or rent one here, as well as houseboat rentals. You could rent one of these 48-foot houseboats and have a loading. There we go. All right. And have a pretty good time out on the lake with something like this. This is really nice. Anyway, I'd encourage you guys to review this website, but if you buy this property, this is the sort of thing that you're going to have in very easy driving distance, and you're going to be able to take advantage of it throughout the entire spring and summer. Now, I will also say that if you ever get tired of the Navajo Marina, here in nearby Rio Arriba County, you have two other lakes. You have the Vado and Heron Lakes, as well as the Abiquiu Lake. These are also linked here on our points of interest section of our listing page. You can click on any one of these links and it'll bring up their respective websites and tell you more about what you could do out there, what you could fish for out there, what type of boats you can rent, so on and so forth. But the point is that out here in this area, you've got easy access to a lot of great bodies of water, a lot of great things to do. Now, one of the reasons that I really like buying property up here in San Juan County and listing it is that these aren't just seasonal properties. These aren't just properties that are only enjoyed in the spring and summer months. Because if you come here to map view and you zoom back a little bit, what you're going to see is that this property sits really close to Telluride, Colorado up here, about an hour to your north, and the, where is it, Taos Ski Valley over here, about 2 hours to your east. So the point is you've got easy access to some of the best skiing in America, roughly an hour north, 2 hours east, etc. So this isn't just a property best enjoyed in the spring and summer months. This is also enjoyed all year round, depending on whatever your interests are. So that's another great thing about buying land up here that I like offering to our customers. So anyway, let's zoom back in and talk about the specifics of the property. As noted, it sits right here off the 511. In fact, I think we can zoom in on the 511. You can see what this looks like out here. As you can see, there's some underground utilities in the area. I'm not entirely sure what those are, but obviously there's power here as well. Power lines are going down this road. And you've got some family farms or small businesses out here in this region. And let's actually zoom back a little bit and talk about this. So obviously these people came in, they bought some land out here, they landscaped it, cut down a lot of the trees, etc. If you buy this property and you're going to build on it, you are probably going to have to worry about that as well. As you can see, there's a lot of trees on the property. It's not densely forested, but there's enough that might make it difficult to build without first doing some landscaping, without first taking a bulldozer to the area. Perhaps not on the northwest side of the property, but certainly down here where the bulk of the land is. Now, let's just talk about the roads first. So we've got this road right here, which is running east-west, And then we've got this road right here running north-south along the western boundary of the property. So if you come to our photo gallery down here on the listing page, as with all of our properties, we get photos taken from the property itself. Now, this road right here is that east-west road that borders most of the property, comes off the 511. As you can see, this is a pretty well-maintained road, certainly easy to drive on, easy to navigate. Any type of vehicle should be able to do that. Additionally, here are the gas lines that are so ubiquitous throughout this area of San Juan County. This is another shot of that east-west road, obviously very easy to drive on. Now, let me just show you this. So this is the road that runs along the western boundary of the property, that north-south road. This one obviously is going to be a little harder to traverse, though how often are you going to have to drive up and down it, I don't know. But the point is that the east-west road, the major point of access for the property, that's a pretty well-maintained road. Now, let's further kind of show you some more here of the property from the drone shots. So this one, the camera's facing about north-northwest right here, and this is the property right here, give you a better sense of the land, and of course a little bit on this side as well. Furthermore, if you come here through the gallery to the other drone shots, this is from the other angle facing roughly south-southeast, something like that. This is the subject property right here, etc. By the way, you can kind of see peeking out over here, you have some views of the Pine River. Now, I think that's notable because this property has a bit of a slope to it. It's got a bit of a hillside to it. It slopes to the south, which means it gets higher as we go up this way. If we pull it back up on the map here, I think you can get a sense. I'm going to hold down the control button. I'm going to kind of drag my mouse around here a little bit, but you can get a sense that there's a little bit of a slope to this property here, which might be nice for building purposes because I think you're going to have some nice views here of the Pine River. Now, I will just quickly note, we've had a property on our website. It's a little bit of a problematic property, so it's been up for longer than I care to admit. But it's this 1193B property. This one actually sits really close to this property, but I think this new one that we're offering is going to be, far better and one that you guys might like a lot more. Of course, the 1193B property has the problem that a lot of land in this area has, which is it's very rocky terrain the closer you get to the canyons. The new property that we're discussing, however, sits right over here off of this road, so pretty close over here. And, as I showed you before, you could possibly have views of the Pine River if you're building up on this thing because it's got this slope to it. But more to the point, you're not going to have to fight that kind of rugged terrain that you would over here. So that's another nice feature about this property. Let me go back to the listing page. Another nice feature about this property is that you're not going to have to fight that sort of rugged terrain. And as Jiminy. All right, we'll go back to the photos. And as noted, these photos here in our gallery will give you a good sense of what the property is like right now and what kind of landscaping you would have to do out here to get this sort of, I don't know, flatter or easier to build on, let's say. Anywho, encourage you to scroll through these pictures in your free time and you'll be able to get a better sense of this. Also, we're going to have a drone video down here at the bottom of the page. This will be a drone from the property itself and give you an excellent sense of what it's like out there, even more so than the photo gallery will. Whatever the case, let's also talk about this. So as noted, this property has no zoning restrictions. What does that mean? As with property in unincorporated San Juan County, and actually let's go to the photo gallery here if I'm going to talk over this. As with property in San Juan County, they have no formal zoning designations for anything. So point being, if you want to go out here and you want to live out of your RV, you're going to be able to do that. You want to do a tiny home, a shipping container home, something like that, you will be able to do that out here as well. Additionally, by the way, this is the 511. This is the road leading off the 511 to the property. Additionally, the other nice thing here is that this can potentially be used as a commercial area. Whatever that might be. Perhaps you're going to take advantage of all the tourism that comes into the area. You're going to use the land as sort of boat storage, boat rental type thing. You should be able to do that here. Now, of course, like anything, I always add the caveat, call the county first. If you're going to spend $9,000 on a property, call the county, talk to the county, ask them about the zoning, tell them what your plans are, see if there are any particular things that you're going to need to know. That being said, as noted, San Juan County is one of these places where they don't have formal zoning restrictions, particularly in this unincorporated area. And simultaneously, there are no nearby towns to this that would have some sort of zoning jurisdiction that would have their own rules about it. By the way, here's a little bit of the rocky terrain out here, but obviously not as bad as you see as you get closer to the canyons. It's been raining a lot out here, by the way. That's why it's so green. It's unusually green in this area. Anyway, All right. With all that said, let's talk about comps. So we've got this 2.5 acre property for $9,000. Where does that fall in the comps? As always, I like to come to Land and Farm. Let's come up here and specify our acreage from roughly 1.5 to 4 acres. Hit apply, search, and there's one of ours. And let's sort by price, lowest first. So first you have these rentals that come up. But then when you're talking about just vacant land, cash price, what does it cost? Here's 2.5 acres by the Navajo Marina. As noted, this is one of ours. And here's another 2.5 acres by the Navajo Marina. And this one's $21,000. So this $9,000 falls very much below the lowest comps. In fact, what's interesting to me about this is if you click on this property actually sits just right down the street from our property. As you can see, here's the 511, here's this area where our property is, and this property is sitting right over here. So let's bring us back up on a map and just show you the contrast. You can buy this piece of land for $9,000, or you can buy this piece of land, same amount of acreage, for $21,000. I don't think there's much competition between those things. Now, perhaps you're saying to yourself, yeah, but I'm going to come in, I'm going to have to landscape this thing, I'm going to have to get a bulldozer, I'm going to have to get somebody to come out here and handle this for me. That's going to cost money. Yeah, but is it going to cost you $12,000? I don't think it is. So, as always, we have the best prices on land in New Mexico, and glad to boast that again. By the way, I forgot to mention the nearest power to this property. Power does not extend all the way out to the property. It ends right about here. So roughly about 0.2 of a mile from the subject property is where the power lines end, but obviously not difficult to get extended out to the subject property. As always, we recommend calling the local utility companies and just asking them, what is this going to cost, to run a couple poles about 0.2 of a mile out to my land. Here's where it's located, et cetera, et cetera. What is that going to cost me? Always best to do that kind of research. Anyway, with all that said, let's say you're interested in buying this property, which again is discounted well below all the other like-type comps within the county. So this is going to be $9,000. We're asking for $500 down on this property. Now, this is not, and I would encourage anybody who's watching this, please read this over. This is going to tell you everything I'm about to say. But the $500 is just a deposit. We're going to contact you. We're going to ask you how you want to close the property. Now, if you come to our Buying From Us page, how it works, Buying From Us, you can read about the different ways in which we'll close on a property. We can write the deed ourselves. You can send us all the money with a credit card. We write the deed ourselves. We record it for you. Or if you're skeptical, hey, I don't know if I want to give weird guys on the internet who I don't know $9,000 of my money, let's close on this through a title company. We're fine with that as well. The way that works is we will draft up a sale purchase agreement. You sign it, we sign it. We'll submit it to the title company. They will do the rest. As noted, we have already closed on this with San Juan Title, so title is free and clear. So for them, it should be, and I'm going to emphasize the word should be an easy, 2-week process of just rewriting the documents and getting everything ready to present to buyer and seller to sign. By the way, this is a copy of what one of our contracts looks like. If you would like to look this over, this is what we'll be asking you to sign before we enter escrow. Now, perhaps you don't want to close this way. Perhaps you're fine with just paying on the credit card, something like that. We don't anticipate most people have $9,000 they can charge on one credit card. So perhaps you want to split it up over 2 or 3 cards. Maybe you want to send us a check. Maybe you want to do a wire. Whatever the case, the $500 is the earnest money deposit that gets that process started. You click this Buy Now button. It's going to take you to this page. We're going to ask you what name do you want on the deed, tax address, where's the county going to send the tax bill, the rest of the information, etc. Click Next, and it's going to take you to the page where you enter the credit card information. Now, this $500 is a deposit to show that you are serious about buying this property. So when you put down the $500, please, please, please have the rest of the $9,000 ready to spend. A lot of times people will put down $500 and not have the rest. And then they'll kind of faff us around for 3 weeks, pretending like they have money that they don't actually have. So the $500 is non-refundable for that reason. So please don't give me $500 if you don't have the rest, okay? We're looking for a cash buyer on this. We're looking for somebody who has the whole $9,000, whether you want to do it on a credit card or you want to close through title and escrow. Either one is fine with us. Let's just not waste each other's time. Okay, so if you do want to close immediately, wire it to us, send us a check, whatever. We're going to ask that you have some amount of that money within the next 96 hours. Okay, if not the full amount, then certainly, you know, maybe you're going to charge. You've got a limit on your credit cards. You're going to charge $2,000, $2,500 a day, something like that. We understand that's going to take a few days to execute, but the point is, please make sure that you have the full $9,000. Okay, this is a cash sale, not a financing sale. Anyway, with all that said, and I'm sure I've exhausted that point, thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment here on the YouTube, shoot us an email, support@hemingwayland.com, or call us on the phone, 702-919-7170, and we can discuss further. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.